always see. It's like you either get that first, right? That first pop and then the green to red, or it just starts going green to red right away, Bill, and then it just kind of comes in and does that. So two different options of it. You can obviously see right over here that you can see out here like you got some decent support here at 90. So if you rip back below, it's going to be good. Pappy, how you doing, man? That's awesome news, by the way. Pappy, that's awesome news, by the way. Dun, 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 dun. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Dun, dun. Good, 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 good. Pappy, when did you make this? Make that move. Dave, I'm not in it right now at the moment. So good morning, everybody. What's going on? So let's take a look at the markets first, and then we'll kind of move into some individual stocks, and we'll see what's going on. Hey, Guarav, how you doing, my friend? Danny, what's going on? Mikander, my friend. Hello, Pat. How you doing? Sabra, what's going on? Boom, 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 boom. All right, so let's take a look. You know, first of all, there's a lot of different kind of plays running around here, but I think it's going to be pretty cool. So, number one, actually nice run in cryptocurrency this morning, so that'll be something we'll talk about in a second. But QQQs looking pretty good over here. You had a breakout here. Right now, you're having a flat open, which is good. You're not going to lose too much of the range in it. We can go red to green on this thing, or just have ourselves a nice push. The SPY's actually opening down. Today is, I believe, if I'm correct, today's options expiration. So you're going to get quadruple witching today. So that's something to just kind of keep an eye on. That's something to keep an eye on today, because you're going to get like all sorts of just fun and games going on. When you get quadruple witching, what typically happens is, you know, the market will move around to different spots, hitting different strike prices. So you end up getting a choppy day. But don't be worried, man. There's a lot of fun stuff that's happening in terms of the overall market. You can see the gappers here. There's a few that are popping up, but for the most part, you know, we've got a handful that I think are just going to be really, really good. Let's talk a little bit about Red Hat. Red Hat, I'm looking at this for a potential second day follow through. You know, watch the old lows for today. If we break below, we should be good to go. NBEV, this thing is opening real strong again. I wouldn't chase this thing on strength today at all, because you're on day 5. But if you get like some type of tap back, maybe to 7, then you may want to look at a rounding thing. These things are long in the tooth, short in the cock on, you know, on the weed stocks, meaning that they just gone up too far, too fast. It's going to be a little bit rowdy. So we've got to make sure that, you know, we got to make sure that we're not really messing around and chasing this stuff and so on and so forth. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, a bunch of people asked about this TRY. To me, this is like a no-go. I'm not watching this thing today. The range sucks on it. It was just, I mean, too big on it. I mean, it was just bleeding yesterday. And, frankly, if you get stuck trying to buy the bounces on this thing, who knows? You may get just kind of bled out on this thing and so on and so forth. I'd kind of stay away from that one and just keep that thing going. I've got a few other ones here. I think this AWSM may have a little bit of juice if it breaks over 11. You're seeing a weak open in this thing. The float on this is tiny, though. Frankly, the spread on it, the float on it was really bothering me yesterday. We took a couple trades on it yesterday, and I did okay. I made like $500 or something, but its spread is like Ganar on it with a G, right? Like you had like a 20-30 cent spread, and then when it started to kind of move down, the spread widened. So for a new trader, I would probably stay away from it, but if it starts to get the juice, you know how it goes. We got to jump back in. ACAD's looking hot today. 78 million share float, coming out of a base breakout. This is also a biotech stock, so biotech stocks typically have some good juice on it. You've got the really nice trender on it. If we get a wash at the open on this, some kind of big flush down at the open, just a little one, go red to green, I'd definitely be open with that. If I get an ORB or something like that, that would be awesome too. You can go either way on one of those. This L is gapping down today on some bad earnings, but the move down is like real big. So I probably won't take this one at the open. What you want to do with something like this, when you have like a big move like down like this, is wait for it to kind of pop at the open because the SSR will be on it. So what we want to do is like wait for it to pop and then start to round and roll over. So like what you want to do, like see like Red Hat yesterday, and it won't be the exact same way, but like you want to let it pop into one of your EMAs and then kind of let it roll over. And what it'll do is it'll fizzle out, and then you get this kind of nice action to the downside. And so that's what I'm looking for on this LW with the SSR on. I can't short it into the hole. We'll let it pop, and then we'll let it fizzle out, right? Wait for that rounding action, and then as it starts to bust under the VWAP, you're good to go. This CRBP was hot yesterday. It's opening up weak. The SSR actually might kick on this thing, and so I'm potentially looking to see if this thing holds the 200-day moving average, or right, we start to round back on it. I think there's just a lot of potential on this one. A lot of potential on this one if it can hold. And then I got this UNFI. We're breaking down this bear flag already over here. You're already down about 10%. We'll look at this for an ORB at the open. It's got a 40 million share float, so it should be kind of even on the downside. It may trade a little thin, but you should get a really, really good range on this thing. Hot damn. Like there's all sorts of, we'll keep an eye on this one big time. On the other side of things, watch this Pixie today. This one had all sorts of juice end of day. I keep an eye on this one. It's opening down $2 already, though. Don't chase this thing into hole, but watch this thing and see if it goes red to green. IDC, this one's going to be too extended. PDD, we got a nice trade on this yesterday. You've got a breakout, pull back to the 9, and then you got that rounding action happening at the 9. As these things start to curl up, and you know what, frankly, this could even be a swing trade, like something you could hold for multiple days with the target at 30. You know, I was going to take this yesterday for a swing trade. You put your stop under here, risk $2 to make $6 kind of thing. But I do think this one kind of works its way back towards 30. It looks pretty good. Keep Roku on the list too. The range on this was pretty good yesterday. We're right at that sweet spot on the flag break, so that's going to be pretty good. I keep an eye on this one. I'm watching the CIEN for actually a potential swing trade. You know, you had this earnings mover, so for about 2-3 days, I had this big earnings gap, and then now you've had a really low volume, light pullback to support, and we got a green candle to hold here. So if you look at your kind of trend line break, you got a green candle to hold. If it can close over that trend line, I do think that that one could be a potential swing trade. It's a little bit of a slower stock in general, but it's looking pretty good in it. So I definitely kind of keep that one on the list. I won't day trade this one. You can see the range on this is like 80 cents, right? So that one is not something that's like an easy day trade, but for a swing trade, I like kind of some of them slower, like stocks that you don't have to babysit as much. You could toss them into your IRA or something like that, and you know they kind of rip and do what they want, and you don't have to sit there and stare at the damn thing. So I do think that one's going to be pretty good. Okta acted okay yesterday, but you finally broke over that trend line. I am expecting this thing to start to speed up here pretty quick. Let's take a look at some of these tickers you guys are sending out. This Zyop looks decent. I would keep that on your list. Not my particular type of play, but it's got just enough range to get this thing going. You like these little guys, huh, Poppy? Woo! Yeah, you can see this one's kind of at a breakout spot too, so that one's not going to be too bad. DTEA, this one is probably not my particular type of play. So DTEA, you know, what's going to happen, you know, we'll have to see if it kind of holds this breakout. Obviously, when they start to fade this hard pre-market, I get a little bit nerved out, but it's back on support. So if it starts to round back up over here, then I'd see. So it needs to hold this 40, 50, because that's also the support on the daily chart, Jazzy. If that's the case, then I think you're good to go. Remember that, you know, some of these little small cap stocks, I mean, they're bound to fade off. One of the things to watch today is like that NBEV. If you start to fade off on some of these small caps, then it could just take down all of them. So don't be surprised if that happens at some point. You know, right now there's a little bit of a mania going, but if NBEV fades off, probably you'll take all the other little guys with it. And so just be careful. You don't want to ruin your Friday with that kind of stuff. Hey, Nick, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yes, Good. Yeah, there's been a couple people have been asked. There's a nice run in cryptos going today. I'm in quite a few of these. I've got on these flag breakouts. So I've actually got this EOS from 560, but I'm about to double up on this thing. You can see you got a really hot pattern right there. And then we added in the chat room this Neo. I got this thing right on this dip over here. This thing looks like it's going to break out too. I mean, this thing's got a huge range. And then I've got 100,000. I got like 100,000 of these XRPs. Right here at 47. I've already sold a few of these, but this thing is hot, man. Woo. So I had 100,000 of these things fucking yesterday at 37 cents. Right here on this fucking breakout. I sold them for like a few pennies, like an asshole. And then it just kept going. But this thing is going flag after flag after flag. Woo! Look at that thing. That's what we call an MPF, mega penis, right? So I'd keep an eye on XRP, ETH, NEO. I'm loaded with like a few thousand of this EOS so far. I might take this thing to 10 if I start to see the run in the market. And then this Ripple it's the future, right? So that you got a lot of good action in these cryptos. You know, I don't know. The problem with the cryptos is they've given us a lot of kind of fake outs where they run for a couple days and then, you know, they're dead and so on and so forth. But it doesn't matter, right? These are just trades and, you know, in the end, if you can rip one, good, right? And if you can't, then you can't. That DT is starting to hold up a little bit better, so that's been pretty good. Let me see what else is going on here. So the market looks like you're just getting kind of a normal open, so nothing too crazy. You're starting to see a little bit of a ramp in the QQQs. Guys, be safe today. As always, it's Friday. You know what we got to do. Top picks is probably still PDD, Roku. You know, we'll fuck around with some of these little guys like NBEV, but like I said, I'm very wary that these things just start to roll over soon, and so frankly, I just don't want to be stuck in one on a Friday. Yeah. There's nothing that ruins your weekend more than losses. You know what I mean? So that's going to be something to do. And yeah, this IGC is a heater at the open. Watch this 275. You may get a quick pop in this thing. One of the things I always remember, though, is I personally, I personally don't like kind of trading like day fours, but, you know, we got to do what we got to do. So, guys, let's go out and crush the day. Do what we got to do, all right? Cool. And, guys, if you're having fun with this stuff, you know, give me a thumbs up on this and, spread the word to the community. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see everybody Monday. And, guys, if you ever want to see me trade in the chat room, man, I'm good, right? Come in our Bulls on Wall Street chat room, and I'm trading live in front of everybody all day, every day. Guys, and email me if you want, if you need anything. By the way, we had an awesome webinar yesterday for the weed stocks. So if anybody wants to check it out, here's the replay. Look forward to seeing you guys. All right? Peace, guys. If I could turn back time